Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And welcome to Kirsty and Briony's Comfort Zone.
I'm Kirsty.
And I am Briony. And we're going to be, we're going to be listening to my dreams today. It's all about me.
It's all about Briony today. I have not been dreaming very well. So I have
Kirsty's
nothing.
going to try and work out what's going on in my head.
Yes, I'm going to be figuring out what the heck is going on.
Squishing around in there, trying to find a drop of sense.
Squish. Exactly.
One of my dreams, because I've been having quite a few dreams recently.
Mm-hmm.
And weirdly, all of my dreams that I've remembered for the last, however long, have all taken place in my parents' house for some reason. I don't know why. Apart from the dream I had last night, which I didn't record, which was that you and I went on holiday together.
Ah, where did we go?
We went to, I want to say we went to, Greece. I think we stayed in, a apartment. No, it wasn't like an apartment. You know when you, I've never actually stayed in one, but when you see in movies, when people stay in hotels, but the hotel rooms are like an entire floor and it's like a little flat.
Mm-hmm. Like in Pretty Woman.
Yes, it was like that.
It was the penthouse suite.
But, so you, me, and Alex were staying there. And then at one point, Kat was coming over and I was like, oh, for some reason we had a spaniel with us, and then the spaniel peed on the floor, and you were like, oh my gosh, take the spaniel outside whilst I clean up the pee. Cat's coming over. I have to clean up the pee. And so I was like, Alex, can you just pop the spaniel outside? But we had this garden, but it was just entirely this swimming pool that you would have hated. You could not see the bottom of it. It was just like an abyss, and it was terrifying.
No.
And Alex and the spaniel were swimming in it, but the spaniel was below the surface and it was just floating, and it was really creepy.
Oh, that's so weird.
And then you and Kat were like, okay, we're going out to the swimming pool now, to the proper resort one. But I was like, I'm just going to stay home and go in our private swimming pool. And then I went outside and I looked into it and I was like, I'm not getting in that. That's terrifying. But I think I know why I dreamt about it. It's because there's a book called Mythos by Stephen Fry that I read years ago. Yeah. And I've been re-listening to I got the audiobook for it and I've been listening to it. And one of the first, I guess they would be a Titan that's introduced is Thalassa. And I was like, oh, that must be where thalassophobia comes from. So I was thinking about that when I went to sleep, and I must have been like, why don't I just try experiencing it tonight? That'd be fun.
Just experience a little bit of thalassophobia. Who doesn't like that?
Yeah, but it made me think of you before I went to bed. So I guess that's why I was on holiday with you experiencing thalassophobia.
Well, I'm glad I didn't go into the creepy pool.
It was just horrible. It wasn't that big a pool, lengthwise. It was 3 meters or something, but it was just this yawning abyss. It was, it was nasty.
That's the worst. I hate that.
And I was just scared to get in case I'd just slowly drop down.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's like you see these, the deepest diving pool in the world, and you see it and it goes down for 500 meters, and it's like, why? Why would you? Why? Blech. I mean, at least it's clear. I mean, it'd probably be okay, but imagine if it wasn't clear.
It seems oppressive. That much pressure from the water just seems gross.
Gross. Well, I had a dream. I did actually have a dream last night, but I don't remember enough of it to record. I dreamt that me and Rydian were cowboys.
Oh, have you been Red Deading?
Yeah, we've been playing Red Dead Online. And I don't remember anything else that happened in the dream. I know that stuff did happen, but as soon as I woke up, it disappeared. But I know that we were cowboys, and we were in the Old West. But I don't remember anything else, which sucks, because I think when I woke up, I was like, oh, I need to record that dream. But my phone wasn't in my room. My phone was in the living room because I left it on charge in here. And usually I record on my phone. So I was just like, oh, well, I'll remember. I didn't. I did not remember.
I swear, like, sleepy us lies to awake us so much. It's like, yeah, sure you remember. Sure you'll get up in 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. Sure, you won't fall back to sleep again.
Unless... I had to do the countdown to get out of bed this morning. Have you ever done that? Like, when you're laying in bed and you're like, I need to move. I need to get up. Okay. In 3, 2, 1.
I try and set myself like, okay, I have a little gander on my phone, but I'll get up when it hits this time. And then I'll be like, oh, it's 2 minutes past the time.
I better wait another 10 minutes. Yeah, I do really that all the time. Oh, dear. But yeah, no, all of my dreams have been very all over the place. So I just don't remember any of them. I know I've been having them, but my brain is just not keeping them in there for long enough to record. But hopefully we can fix that soon because we've had a lot of Briony episodes. I'm slacking.
Sorry, everyone.
No, it's fine. I'm slacking. I need to dream more. I need to eat more cheese before bed.
So I have 2 dreams today. I actually have 3 recorded, and annoyingly, the third one, the latest one, is the one I'm most excited for you to hear. But we'll have to save that for next week.
Ooh.
But I brought 2 dreams. The first one, do you remember last week we spoke to lovely Rythian and we were like, we don't have any dreams recorded. Let's get Rythian on as a guest.
Yeah.
It turns out I had this dream. I have no memory of the dream. I have no memory of recording the dream. I just saw it as a file on my phone. I was like, oh, I did have a dream. So
you just wanted Rythian on the podcast, mystery. Is what I'm hearing.
I did.
You just want Rythian here. Just get him in.
I never even had a dream. Get Rythian back.
just get Rythian back. Have him here every week.
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea.
So you don't even have you listened back to it?
Nope.
Oh, okay. So you'll probably remember once it starts playing. I see.
Imagine if it's. Imagine if we have to edit it out. What if it's just pure filth?
What if it's a sexy dream? Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But it's so weird having something that I experienced and it's my voice and I clearly, whatever this is, but I absolutely
no memory.
No idea.
Yeah. To be honest, I've had that in waking life, so it makes sense. I get it.
It's like when you're streaming and someone's like, so finish that story and you're like, I was telling a story. What? Was I? Or if someone replies to something that you said and you're just like, What? Why are you saying this? And they're like, because you literally just said this. I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, dear. It's like now we're recording these a week ahead. We're being very good. We're very organized. And the problem is when I get comments on the YouTube version of the podcast, I'm like, what are they replying to? I don't know what this reference is because it's already been a week and I've completely forgotten everything. Oh my God,
yeah. It's like I had someone come into chat yesterday when we were streaming together and they were like, I hope you guys aren't serving rhubarb pie in your restaurant. And I was like, what? There's no rhubarb pie in Played Up. And then they were like, that's a podcast reference for anyone who hasn't listened to the latest episode. And I was like, ha, yeah. And then I remembered about you peeing on rhubarb. So
yeah,
P-barb. But yeah, like
I found out
terrible memory.
I found out yesterday that there's a type of wine, not worm. There's a type it's got worms on the brain.
A kind of
There's a type of wine called Barbara. I'm guessing it's called like Barbera or something. But I was looking at this this pasta place that I want to go for my birthday, and it is you get a bottomless brunch, which is like brunch with prosecco. So it's brunch. But it says you can also have it. I know, Jared. Do you want to go out for brunch? But it says you can also have it with Barbara, and I was like, well, she sounds delightful. But I looked it up. It's a type of wine.
Oh,
I think it's like red wine.
What if I want brunch with Barbara?
Yeah. Oh, Barbie Brunch.
Oh, Barbie.
But I don't like Prosecco or wine. So I was like, well, can I just have more food, please?
I don't want brunch. I just want lunch.
I just want lunch, yeah. But I've been looking through the menu so many times because it's pretty spenny. So I thought if I go for my birthday, that's an excuse. We added it up the other day, actually. I say we, someone in my Discord added it up, and we worked out that it would cost £262 to order everything on the menu.
Honestly,
which obviously you wouldn't.
Not bad. I mean, that's like a big meal for a few people.
Everyone was like,
know?
you should do a subathon for it. I was like, other streamers are like, I want to get to 10,000 subs. And I'm like, can I just try everything from this pasta place?
I want to order everything on this pasta menu.
If you donate 1 sub, I can up the salad to a bigger salad. But to be honest, even the salad sounds banging. Like, I really are. I can't decide what to get. I just want everything.
Everything.
The only thing I wouldn't want on the menu is the olives. So that's £5 I could save.
True.
But then I feel bad because Alex should try it. So
does Alex like olives?
He should have the olives. He
does,
loves
right?
them, yeah.
I love olives. They're great.
Olives.
I love olive. Olives.
Oh my gosh, I've been watching this. Do you ever watch Bluey? Do you ever watch a children's TV show?
But that's the one with the dog, right? Everyone loves this dog all of a sudden.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I loved Bluey before it was a TikTok trend. I'm cool. But my nephew watches Bluey, and there's this thing going around TikTok because Bluey has this little sister called Bingo, and there's a bit where, because it's Australian, and there's a bit where Bingo says, someone says to Bingo, "Oh, you excited to go to the airport tomorrow?" And Bingo replies, "Airport? I'm not going to the airport." And apparently Americans are just going, what's airport? Airport? I'm like, it's airport. It sounds the same.
Airport. What are Americans?
But I think because the captions come up and they spell it EHPOWT, and they're like, airport?
Airport? The airport. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was just sat alone in the house earlier just trying to work out how it sounds different. I was like, airport. I had that like semantic satiation thing where I was like, airport. Is this a word?
Airport.
This is not a word.
It's like, have you seen the article that Peppa Pig is turning American children's accents British?
Oh my gosh.
It's so funny.
See, when I was little, I remember there being news articles about don't let your kids watch Neighbours because their children are starting to go up at the end of sentences and it sounds like they're asking questions all the time. Hello, Mum. How's it going?
All right, Mum.
I went to the school today. Like, this is an outrage.
Oh my God.
Because I guess when I was little, like, the adults watched, well, we never really did, but, you know, you'd have adults who watched Neighbours and I'd watch Round the Twist. So I guess there was
God, I remember Round the Twist.
Australian influence.
There was a lot of Australian shows.
I might go to Australia, go to the airport.
The airport. And now we talk like this all the time. So it was a success.
Harold. Oh dear. But that is cute though. Oh, I love Peppa Pig. I think a lot of children's TV can get written off as like, oh, it's just Peppa Pig. That's trash. It's just this sort of thing. But like the writing on it is so good. I've genuinely like laughed out loud at things that have happened on Peppa Pig.
It's like the clip where
when she
puts
can't
the
whistle.
phone down. Yeah, she can't whistle, so she puts the phone down on her friend.
Hangs up on Susie Sheep. Oh, like this. She's so savage. Oh, I love Peppa. And the voice is Richard Ridings. Daddy Pig plays a... No, Richard Ridings plays Daddy Pig, and he's like the narrator from Dungeon Keeper 2. So just hearing his voice is like very nostalgic as well. It is a good show.
And
like Sarah and Duck
kids shows are just so nice and easy to watch.
Shows.
Yeah, literally. Like I was around my brother's the other day, and they had one of the Tinkerbell shows on, or one of the Tinkerbell movies, and I was just sitting there just watching. And my brother's like, "You're going to put this on when you get home, aren't you?" I was like, "No, I'm just having fun. I'm just enjoying it. I don't have Disney Plus. I can't watch it when I get home."
I remember when my niece grew out of watching Sarah and Duck, and I was like, "Should we watch Sarah and Duck?" And she was like, "No." I was like, "Please, can we watch Sarah and Duck for me?" I think there's just like obviously there's a place for watching drama and serious things, but sometimes the world is serious enough, and you just need to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Sarah and Duck going to meet Donkey because it's nice.
Yeah, like watching kids shows is fun. Like I binge watch Sonic Boom on Netflix. And they're like really short episodes. They're like 10, 15 minutes because children don't have very long attention spans. And I was just sitting there like, this is great. And like stuff that you used to watch. Like, did you ever watch Bananas in Pajamas?
No. I remember it being on.
What a show.
But I don't think it was one of my main go-tos.
I loved that. Bananas in Pajamas.
I remember the song.
Rosie and Jim, Tots TV, and Super Ted. I loved them.
Oh my gosh. Tots TV, when you watch it back now, it's so passive-aggressive.
It is, yeah.
They were just like so savage with each other and just so sassy all the time. I think I just didn't pick up on it as a child.
Oh, yeah, there was a clip going around actually the other day. I think like one of them had to sweep up or something and they did it wrong and Tom is like, "Oh, Tiny, you're so useless." Oh, God.
Wasn't it something like, they're like, "I'm sweeping up because you made a mess," or something? And it's like, oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
Oh my God. And I love the clangers. Like I was saying to Rithian the other day, much to his confusion, the clangers is so gentle. It's so
never
nice.
watched the clangers. I think it might have been like a tiny bit before my time. Like, was the clangers more like 80s?
Oh yeah, like I had the clangers on VHS. It's going back a while.
Oh,
but
I had all of mine on VHS. Oh, did they?
They rebooted it and they actually did it really well. You know how sometimes they remake things like, oh my gosh, Postman Pat, and it turns into this horrific CGI nightmare.
Yeah.
But no, the clangers they redid really well.
Ah, I
very
remember when I was a kid, a friend of ours was like, "Oh, I've been watching Button Moon. I love Button Moon. It's so good." And it was a kids show, and I think it was like stop motion and stuff. And they showed us a clip of it, and it looked bloody weird. It was so strange. And even as a kid, I was like, "What is this?"
I think my sister used to like Button Moon. There's a few that passed me by, and one of them was Button Moon, and one of them was Trapdoor. A lot of my friends seem to be very sentimental about Trapdoor. And I just don't.
I've never even heard of Trapdoor.
Yeah, it was the sort of, I think maybe it was claymation. I'm not sure. I've not seen it, but people will reference it and be like, "Don't you open that trap door?" And I'm like, "I never saw it.
I don't know what you're talking about." Oh dear.
But yeah. Oh,
wait.
TV.
What about the best show on TV, Jungle Run? Did you ever watch Jungle Run?
Jungle Run? No, I've never heard of Jungle Run.
You never watched Jungle Run? Oh my God.
Is that where Jungle Boy was from?
Maybe.
Is that his origin story?
Jungle Run was on CITV. And it was like, it was like a lot of like shows you watch as an adult. So it was like obstacle courses, challenges, and they had to collect.
I have seen this.
Yeah, they had to collect like bananas. And later on in the series, it was monkey statues. And there were two monkeys that would always try and like ruin their tasks. And at the end, they had to go into the belly of the big monkey king and win the PlayStation.
Oh
it was
gosh.
great. Jungle Run was what a show. What a show. Oh, and Art Attack too. Oh my God. So many good shows.
This is an Art Attack.
This is an Art Attack.
So Art Attack was like slightly, I think I've told you this before. Art Attack was so I don't know how true this is. This could just be a family legend. But apparently someone who is a friend of our family, I won't name names, came up with the idea for Art Attack. And at the time she was going out with Neil Buchanan.
No.
And then they broke up and he took the idea.
Neil.
This is probably complete nonsense. But every time when I was growing up, every time we heard the name Neil Buchanan, it would be followed by bastard.
Bastard. That's so funny.
So I'm like, every time I watch it, I'm just like, oh, it's Neil Buchanan. Bastard. But I don't know how true that is, or if it was just maybe they just had a little conversation, came up with it together. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
That is so funny.
But yeah, that's the version of it that I heard. Art Attack was great. Apart from that bloomin' talking head thing. That was
head.
Did you ever watch
it was great.
Zap?
Yes, I remember Zap. That was weird. I didn't like Zap very much. I did watch it, but whenever the skit with the girl, I can't remember what her name was, but the one in the pigtails wearing the yellow and black, I really didn't like her. Daisy something, yeah. Whenever she came on, I had to turn it off. I couldn't stand her. Could not stand her.
I used to really like... Wait, wasn't Neil Buchanan the art guy in that? The like...
Oh yeah, he might have been.
A bastard.
Bastard.
I used to really like... Daisy Dare, that was it.
That's it.
And Cuthbert Lily, he's so silly.
Oh.
I used to really like the hands in that.
Yeah, I liked the hands.
Because I was always like, what are they going to make?
They were cool.
It's exciting.
Sorry to all of our American listeners. We're just having a British Kiss TV nostalgia conversation now.
They're talking British.
They're talking
It's
British.
making my children talk British.
My children watched Art Attack and now they talk like Neil Buchanan.
The bastard.
Bastard.
I don't think, did I watch any American TV shows growing up? We weren't really allowed. Like,
No,
American
I don't think I
stuff
did.
was
I mean,
quite
Pokemon.
banned in the house.
But
Oh, yeah.
I watched Pokemon and Card Captors. That's probably it.
I wasn't allowed to watch, like, well, I guess South Park isn't really a children's TV show, but I remember that being banned in the house.
I can't think why. I guess like
And then
movies,
I think,
like Disney movies and stuff would be the closest thing to American, but no TV shows so much. Because it was all like BBC, wasn't it, really? And CITV.
Yeah, I always wanted to have a birthday card on, you know, when
Blue
they had
Peter.
them on children's TV.
Yeah.
And they would be like, whose birthday is it today? Let's lift the balloon and see whose it is. And I'd be like, I want to
pretty
be
sure
under a balloon.
I sent one in once or thought about it, and oh my God, I never got it on the TV show. I was so sad.
Oh.
So sad.
I loved those. Blue Peter was amazing as well.
Blue Peter was fun. I remember a certain set of like presenters, and then when they started changing, I was like, meh. No, I don't want to watch anymore.
I remember it being a big thing when... Do you remember when Richard Bacon was found out to be like on drugs? That was a big like, oh, not a Blue Peter presenter. That was my time. That scandal.
That is before
I used to
my
watch
time.
him.
I don't remember
Oh my
that.
gosh.
My Blue Peter presenters were Connie Huck.
Connie, she was amazing.
Matt. Was he on Country File or something?
Matt.
Matt with the black hair. And then there was the other guy whose name I've forgotten, who was more of a Chad. And then Matt Baker, yeah. And then
he looks like Dennis from Always Sunny.
And then there was a lady whose name I've forgotten, but the Chad guy and her were always like, oh, are they going to get together? Are they going to kiss? But I've forgotten her name too. I've forgotten her name too.
I remember the cats being called Carrie and Oki when I watched. They had two cats.
I think Matt had a collie called Mabel when I watched. Maybe.
Aww.
I think. Shall I Google it?
And
Matt's
every winter
collie.
they would bury a tortoise and then
Oh yeah.
they'd replace the tortoise in the new year. And it was like, ooh, maybe you shouldn't keep them.
Oh dear. Okay, Matt Baker collie Meg, not Mabel. Meg.
Aww. I remember watching around then, but I guess I watched like slightly before, and then I watched a bit of that as well. But yeah, the Richard Bacon cocaine scandal. That was my first taste of scandal in my life. They're like, no, not a Blue Peter presenter.
They don't do drugs. They just stay in the studio and do crafts.
They just smile at each other and get married and hold hands sometimes.
Oh, that opened a memory actually as well. The other presenter who wasn't Connie Huck, the lady, I remember she got married once and she came onto the show in a big wedding dress. Oh, I can't remember what her name was. For the life of me.
Was Andy Peters, was he a Blue Peter person as well? I don't know. He was one of the, I guess.
I'm trying to Google all this stuff, but I've been sitting here fidgeting with my keyboard and I took off the space bar, so I can't actually Google anything now.
Oh dear. Right. Shall we? I just remembered we're recording a podcast. Shall we listen to a dream
podcast now?
It's called Blue Pete Her.
Blue Pete Her. It's been half an hour and we haven't listened to a single dream. We should do that.
Oh dear, oh dear. Right. Okay. Let's because I'm gonna. I literally just remembered the Really Wild show, and now I'm like,
I remember the Really Wild show.
I used to want to be that woman, but I've forgotten what her name was. But I was like, I'm gonna be her when I grow up. Michelle Strachan. Strachan? Yeah.
Strachan.
Oh, Terry Nutkins.
Oh my God, Terry Nutkins. I don't know who Terry Nutkins is, but I've just heard his name in reference, like, to the Really Wild show or to whatever he was in.
He was so lovely.
What a
He's
name.
like, we used to call, we sometimes called Jerry Nutkins because Terry Nutkins had like this big tufty hair, and sometimes Jerry looks a little bit like him. Cute. No, don't do this. Closing the tab. It's dream. Let's listen to a dream.
Close the tab. No more Terry Nutkins. It's dream time.
Okay. My first one, I have no memory of. Mm-hmm. So we will be going on this discovery together. 3, 2, 1, go. I had a dream that Becky Boom, was staying with us, but I was still living at my parents' house. So she was staying with me at my parents', and she had bought like, I didn't really see it. She like worked really hard, and then eventually one day I saw her in the kitchen, and I was like, "Is everything okay?" And she was like trying to find stuff to eat and stuff to eat off of, because it turned out she'd brought a plate, and then the plate had like broken or gone missing or something. And I was like, "You can use our plates." And then I was like, "Do you need stuff to eat? You can have our food. Like, we'll take care of you," sort of thing. And then I remember at one point, I think I like offered her an ice cream as well. I was like, "We've got ice cream." And then there was something about going to a carnival. Like, I went to this carnival, and we were watching a film, and there was, it's so fuzzy. There's something about, there was like a floor, and there were patches of sawdust, and we're watching this film. But the only thing I remember about it is that, what's he called? Professor Chang from Community. I think his name's Ken. Was there, and I like kept on moving over to him, and eventually I was just like he was sat cross-legged on the floor, and eventually I just like backed all the way up and just put my pillow in his lap and was just like snuggling in. I don't remember what the film was, but then something bad happened and everyone had to, I think he froze. I think he was like frozen, and they had to check up on everyone else that they hadn't been got by this freezing thing or something. I don't know. It all fell apart at the end. But yeah, that was my dream. Bye-bye. I just remembered another part of the dream, which was that we had a third bunny. And this bunny just came out of nowhere. And she was like an exact copy of Fionn, but lighter colours where Fion's dark. And she was just like, she kept on trying to hump the others, I think she was the main instigator. It was all just a bit naughty, but I picked her up and was like, you're gonna have to live upstairs with me. And I was just trying to carry this bunny around. You can't just go around humping all the other bunnies. But it might have been Fionn was humping her. I don't know, there was naughtiness going on. So yeah, I think I was gonna take her up with me and then bond them properly at a later stage. But yes, third Briony. She was a little pickle. Right, bye-bye for realsies. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So not only did I forget one dream, I apparently recorded 2 dreams in the same recording.
Oh my God. Do you remember it now?
As soon as I heard Becky, I was like, I do remember I had a dream about Becky. I think it's literally just that I'm very protective of Becky and I like seeing her do well.
Aww.
And I feel like sometimes she can be shy at putting herself forward for things. And I like to see her thrive. I think that's all the dream was I was just like, I want to see Becky do well. I don't know why that was represented in her breaking her only plate. Me being like, have one of our plates.
Just have another plate, it's fine.
But yeah, that was the first of the dreams that starts me just being at my parents' house all the time. I think just for a while now, they seem to be at my parents' house. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of those too, haven't I? Where it's at my parents' house. There's something in the air, I think.
Well, I was thinking that because the time you were doing it was because your parents were moving, wasn't it? So it makes sense. Whereas for me, I'm like, I guess maybe I'm just thinking about when's the next time I'll be
going home.
Yeah. But yeah, an odd one.
Aww.
And then I snuggled with Ken Jeong, apparently.
You did?
I don't know why.
Just sidled up to him.
I've been rewatching Community, and he was at the wrestling the other day. He was at WWE.
There you go.
He went along to one of those that we watched.
What if we watched wrestling together, Ken?
Oh, Ken, I didn't know you were into wrestling.
Oh.
But I remember there was something about people being frozen or something, and I managed to avoid it. I think there was a whole scary thing going on, and I don't know. I forgot what it was. It obviously didn't wash with me. I was like, I've got a pillow. I don't care. I do remember having the second dream about the bunny now, though. It was opposite Fionn, a very light version of Fionn.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is a lot of Rex to have.
A lot of chaos.
This is a lot of chaos.
Oh no. Oh, what a baby. When you came back at the end and was like, I've remembered more of the dream, I thought that was just you talking. And I was like, okay.
I heard you go,
yeah.
And I was like, no, that's not me.
Yeah. Okay. And then I looked and I was like, oh wait, it's not Briony talking, it's the recording. Whoops.
Yeah, because I was watching the recording bar go up, and I was like, it's got a minute to go, and I've just said that's for the dream. Is this just, did I just forget did I fall back to sleep or something and not? And then I heard it. And then I just heard you go, and another dream.
Oh.
I wonder if the bunny thing was because, would it have been around then? Wait, when did we get Julietta, our new little foster home?
I think
it was 3 days after that dream. So I was probably just thinking about there being a new baby in the house.
Yeah, I mean, I think you are just getting very motherly and protective by the sounds of it. You want to make sure Becky does well, and then you've got your buns, and then you've got your home, and you're just like, I want to protect them all.
Annoyingly, one I didn't record because it was blooming depressing. But the night before Julieta got dropped off with us, I had a horrible dream about, well, it started off nice because in the dream, Squeak was alive again. And I was like, oh, I've got Squeak back. And then she just like rapidly aged and got all these problems, and her eye problems were back. And I was like, oh my gosh, I had a second chance and I wasted it. And I woke up just like, why, brain? Because it's like it just puts that, I guess there is already doubt in your mind of like, oh my gosh, can I look after another little thing? Because for some reason, it's like less pressure, but also more pressure when you're fostering, because you're like, well, I'm just looking after them until they get their full-time home. But then you're like, oh my gosh, what if I do something wrong and they don't get to go to their full-time home because I did?
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess it's like, there's different stresses.
Yeah.
And the first night she was with us, I had a hamster stress dream as well that I'd just already forgotten to feed her or something like that.
God.
And I was like,
oh my God. All of your dreams are just about the animals. It's like, what if I'm not looking after them? When in reality, you're the person that will look after them the most. You're the most responsible with your animals.
I did have this horrible... When we started looking after her again, I was like, what if I'm just out of the habit of having a hamster now? What if I just forget that she's there and just don't look after her? But no, she's been well looked after. She's a chaos bean.
No.
She's like, she can jump. Like, she jumps really high. Like, if I'm putting my arm down towards her, she'll just leap for it. And she's just like, she's chaotic, pure chaos.
What a baby.
Very soft. Very lovely.
Very soft, very chaotic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want more rats.
Do it.
No, I can't. I wish I could.
It sounds like, obviously I'll look after anything that comes our way, but I would at some point like to foster a boy hamster.
Oh, yeah, boy hamsters. It's like boy rats. They're so big and squishy, right?
And they got those big old balls.
They got the big old balls.
Nina and I were having this discussion the other day because I said, I want to foster a boy hamster. And then at the same time, she was like, no, you don't. And at the same time, in unison, I said, I love their big old balls. And she said, you don't like their big old balls. And I was like, yeah. She was like, you can feel them like dragging across your arm. And I was like, yeah, but they're so funny.
They're so funny. I keep seeing posts on Reddit because I'm on a lot of like rat Reddits and stuff. And so many people keep posting like, can you all help me sex this rat? I have babies here. And every single picture, they're all female because they haven't got these gigantic balls. And everyone's just like, that's a girl. That's a girl. I believe you will know if it's a boy.
I see that in the hamster group. People being like, what's wrong with my hamster? She's got these big lumps. And I'm like,
those are testicles.
Yep. Your hamster is fine. They've just bloomed.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny.
It's lovely seeing hamsters thrive how they should be. But oh my gosh, it's like the more you unleash them, just the more chaos there is. It's amazing how much can be compacted into such a tiny being.
Mm-hmm. For sure. They've got so much personality. They're so nice. They're like little doggies.
Yeah.
The babies.
Little rodent puppy.
Rodent puppy.
I'd love to look after rats, but because we've got like the vertical tank, we couldn't really... No, wait. Horizontal tank, whereas I guess rats need tall, don't they?
They need the tall ones, yeah.
Yeah.
They need a big old space.
Yeah.
My cage was 5 foot tall and about 2.5 feet wide. It was huge, and you opened it and there was just an army of rats in there like, hello!
What was the most you had at any one time?
8, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember bonding them when I introduced the newest one. And I used to bond them in the bathtub because it was neutral. And I just remember having 8 rats in the bathtub. And I was like, is this too many? was just a swarm of rats in the bath. I'm like, But it was nice because they would all cuddle together and it was so cute. I've got so many pictures of like all of them just in a big hammock, just having the best time.
Big rat pile.
So cute.
But the way they all like squish in together, and you're like, can you breathe in there? You seem fine.
You're probably fine, right?
See, that's one of the sad things about hamsters is because they have to be on their own, and you just feel like, because I've had bunnies for so many years, and it's that thing of like, you always bond them, you always give them company. Even if they don't bond with the first 10 bunnies, you keep trying them until they find one they like, sort of thing. So when it's a hamster, and I'm like, you seem like, no, I should get you. No, you
no
just,
friends.
You would kill each other. You just need to stay on your own. That's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels very weird to me. I wish they could be friends.
They're just lone rangers. The lone wolf. They just like to have their own space.
Yeah.
No other stinky rodents in the tub.
Even their own babies.
Yep, get them out of there.
I hate when you hear someone start a story of like, my hamster had babies once, and you're like, oh no, I know how this ended.
Uh-oh.
I know.
Yep, I know exactly how this ends.
I've had this one. I'm traumatized. Oh dear. Would you like to hear my second dream?
Yeah.
Which is over 5 minutes long. And all I remember is that at the end, I say something like, that's all I remember of that. And I remember then looking at, like, stopping recording and being like, I've remembered so much of this. Why does it feel like I've not said anything? So this one might be very rambly, maybe? I don't know. Maybe I just fell asleep in the middle.
Maybe. Let's find out.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. I had a dream that I was staying at home with my parents and the bunnies were there. The bunnies were staying in the room with me. And then we went outside, me and Mum, and just outside the door there was this like black and white lop bunny. They were like mostly white, but they had these little black patches. I just scooped them up. I was like, oh my gosh. This bunny's just outside, are they okay? And I was saying to Mum, like, do you know anyone who has a bunny around here? She was like, no. I was like, we need to get them to the vet. The second they've got a microchip. And I was like, oh, okay. First we'll go around the neighbours or something. But we went round our next door neighbours, who I've never met before. But I'm pretty sure they're not like they were in this dream. They were like, they had this little baby boy. He must have been like maybe 1, and the dad was a drug addict, and he was making these little tubes. They were basically like drugs, maybe meth. I don't know. It was a made-up drug wrapped in copper, and then these little sticky stickers either side of it. And he made it into a tube. And I was like, you shouldn't be doing this. You've got your little baby boy. And for some reason I knew that he'd been on some like addicts TV show or something, trying to give up. And he was like, yeah, this is all part of the program of me giving up. And then I looked over and the baby had got one of these tubes, and I was like, no, the baby's got. So I was like trying to take the tube away, and then I remember I was like chatting away to them, and I noticed one of the tubes was on the floor next to the baby's bed, and I was like, I have to remember to tell the mum to like pick that up and to get rid of it and stuff. But we left them, and I picked up the bunny and we left. And then I think we were somewhere else. I think maybe with my brother-in-law's sister. I know she's got bunnies. And I think I was talking about if she could take the bunny. And then eventually I was like, Mum, can we just look after this bunny for the night, please? Can they just stay in the kitchen? And Mum was like, oh yeah, sure, fine. I was like, as long as they stay away from Jerry and Fiona, it should be fine. So then we went to the wrestling, and it was meant to be WWE, and we were we had like front row seats, but we had to go in with, there are these two ladies who were like doing all this like, we're the bosses here and rah, rah, rah. And then they got the announcers table was made into this like fancy turquoise green velvet booth for them, and it had like the bosses written on it. And they were like, yeah. And then as soon as they were off camera, they were like, oh yeah, that's fine, you can just sit there and like we just gotta do this. And the ring had been covered with these like big decorated turquoise like wooden boards, and I was like, I can't actually see what's going on, but eventually I guess the rest is gonna go through them, and then we get to actually see this stuff. And at this point I had cut my hair like a short, like shaggy, not quite a mullet, but that sort of style, and dyed it black. And I had 3 separate people come up to me and be like, Pierce, yeah, like, can I just get my photo with you? And I was like, what? And they were like, oh, stop mucking around. Like, come on, Pierce. And they kept on like holding my leg and being as if they like really knew me. And I was like, what? I am not this wrestler you think I am. And then I remember that at one point the wrestler did like, they did have to move the boards out the way so we could actually see the wrestling. And for some reason there was like 20 people in the ring and loads going on around it. And I was trying to take photos, but my camera kept on being super zoomed in. I kept trying to zoom it out so I could actually fit the ring into frame. And the only other thing I remember is that there was at one point this like rich looking family dressed all in these like beautiful like silk dresses, and they also had front row seats, and they were like about to leave, maybe they all started getting ready to leave. And I remember that the ring staff, one of them was in training, because this woman was just like, go, you've got to get out of the way, come on, quick. But other than that, I don't really remember anything else. Yeah. Very strange. The end. Bye.
Ta-da! Ta-da! In your parents' house again.
So much detail about like the wrestling attendants being in training and what the family were wearing, and then I'm like, I don't really remember anything else.
That's very detailed. There was so much stuff going on.
Yeah,
there was. And the
wrestling,
bunnies, parents' house.
With when we went round to our neighbours, so since I moved to Bristol, the neighbour on that side of the house has changed. Mm-hmm. And all I know about them was my parents at one point, they were like, in summer, they were like, oh, we don't know what his job is, but, you know, he goes out into the garden and he won't have a top on and he's just so muscly and tattooed. And I'm like, oh, no. sounds terrible.
Oh, dear. Oh, no. What a shame.
But yeah, that's literally, I don't know their name. That's all I know. Muscles and tattoos.
Oh my God.
Although my parents did joke at one point, they were like, we don't know what his job is. Maybe he must be like mafia or something. So maybe that's where this came from. But that was ages ago. I guess my brain just maybe kept that little storyline and was like, oh.
Yeah. Maybe. How interesting. Very interesting. But you have so many very common themes in your dreams. I know we say it a lot, but you really do.
Parents' house, bunny, wrestling.
Oh.
Got them all.
So it's like, what's happening in Briony's parents' house today? Oh, goodness. Dear. What were you going to say? Sorry.
I don't know what to look up for this because a lot of it seems so specific to like, well, I don't think wrestling is in the book. Surely we would have looked it up by now.
I think we have, yeah, and there's nothing in there.
But yeah, it was quite like I had such a strong memory of being mistakenly identified as this Pierce wrestler. There isn't a wrestler called Pierce, but I remember I had dyed my hair black and I had cut it really short and shaggy, and people just kept on thinking I was this wrestler lady, and I was like, no, that's not me. But they were like so certain. I don't know if that would be because I've been watching Tom play Hitman. Maybe.
Oh, maybe you were just in disguise.
Yeah, because we were saying about how ridiculous it is that this bald guy with a tattoo on the back of his head is always just like, oh yeah, you're the world famous drummer guy, aren't you? So maybe it was just that.
Oh, you're that famous fashion model. It's definitely you, right?
Yeah.
You're wearing his outfit anyway.
He's so talented, that guy. But yeah, it feels like it was so detailed, and yet none of the detail means anything.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just kind of like one of those dreams where it's just a scenario in your brain, and it's like, it's not even really anything relevant. I guess it's kind of like me dreaming that me and Rithy were cowboys yesterday. It's like, yeah, we were playing Red Dead. We're cowboys now. Like, oh, I was watching Tom play Hitman and also wrestling. I put on a costume in my dream. Like,
I spend like a lot of my time, more than I should do, looking at ads for animals and thinking, oh, should I? Because sometimes I'll like message the rescue that we're fostering Julieta through and just be like, oh, there's this bunny. Because if they're like free to a good home, you're like, they're probably not going to find a good home. So it's better if a rescue takes them in and rehomes them to someone that they've actually checked and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe at the time, there's a high likelihood that I had seen a bunny that needed a home, and it's probably just about that. Because I'm always looking at those sorts of things and thinking, could I foster a bunny?
You're always sending me links too, which I love. The one you sent me yesterday, oh my God. Terry. Do you remember Terry?
Oh, yeah. I was just about to say about Terry, and I was like, did I send you
Briony
Terry?
Sent me a picture, a listing for a bird called Terry, and he has a funny little haircut.
He honestly, he looks like I showed him to Alex, and Alex was like, why is he wearing a wig? I was like, it's not a wig, it's his feathers.
Do you think he's named after Terry Nutkins?
Oh, maybe. Terry Wogan.
Terry Wogan. Oh my goodness.
He's a cute little thing. I never feel very comfortable around birds. So I don't think I'd get a bird.
I know what you mean. I've recently, I don't know why, but my Instagram, I don't really use TikTok. I just watch Instagram reels, and a lot of them lately have just been birds. And
yeah, mine too. But it is because I look up birds a lot on Instagram. There's no mystery there.
I think maybe it's clocked onto the fact that I will watch the bird ones all the way through. And it's like, right, here's some more bird ones. Like, I just keep getting birds doing weird things, and it's so funny, and I love them.
They're just
I think I could get on
guys.
with having a bird. They are weird little guys, and I love that.
I think, like, I love the idea of having a bird, but I think I would always feel a little bit bad, like they couldn't fully stretch their wings.
Yeah,
literally.
I know what you mean.
Like, is flying around I guess if it was like a teeny tiny Terry or a budgie or something, I'd be like, well, yeah, I guess so. When you see people who have these like African grey parrots and stuff, I'm like,
you can't fly anywhere.
Space? And like macaws and things like that, like surely they want to soar and
fly. Want to have a nice big flight.
Glass. I also like, part of me wonders like how like I love when you see the bird videos where it looks as if they just fully understand everything, but then part of me is like, have you just learned that if you make these noises you get seeds? Or do you actually know? Because the one that taps the glass and goes glask, he can tap other things and be like plastic, metal.
I think they know. I
Cork.
think they're clever. They're so smart.
Yeah.
I mean, they've probably clocked onto the fact that it does give them seeds, but also they know what they're doing.
Oh my gosh. So the glass parrot, he's called Apollo. And the other thing, one of the other things, he does so many things. He is a super smart bird. But when he does something good, they'll be like, you can have a pistachio. They're like, if you name 3 more things, you get a pistachio. And then he'll just be like, stash, pistache, mustache, stash. He just gets so excited. It's pistachio. But all he can say is pistache.
Oh my God, I love him. They're so clever.
And the ones that have the really high-pitched little voice, the one that's like, what happened?
The ones that ask for peekaboo as well, I love.
Peekaboo.
Like, no, I'm working. Peekaboo.
I saw recently where this woman, she wasn't filming it itself, but she was like filming the inside of her pocket, but you could hear it. They had this workman round who was putting up shelves or something in the room where the parrot was. Mm-hmm. And this guy was like trying to get on with his work, and the parrot's just there going, pretty boy, woohoo, stuff. And she was like, I'm so sorry. My parrot is just flirting with you as you're trying to get on with your work.
Oh my God. I love them. I want a bird.
Yeah. Maybe getting it, because the reason I originally got Squeak is because I was scared of hamsters and I wanted to embrace loving one. So maybe I just need to get a bird.
That's it.
And then I can not be as... It's just, I'm fine with them when they are stood. But if they flap, I'm like, it puts me into like primal panic mode where I'm just like, are we panicking? I'm panicking.
I know what you mean.
Because we used to have them in the vet all the time. We'd get birds. And they would just let them... we had this like stray bird in once who the vet ended up adopting. But because he was just like chilling out and staying with us, he would be let to just fly around the ward, and you would just be stood like not realizing he was out. You'd be stood like washing up bowls at the sink or something, and all of a sudden he'd just fly at your head and land on your head, and you'd be like, hello. Because he loved the running tap. He always wanted to stick his head under it.
Oh, they've got so much character. I love them. They're so cool.
They do. They are good. Why don't you move to Bristol and we'll adopt Terry together?
Okay. I'm on my way. I want
Come on,
Terry.
Tabs. We're going for a drive.
Oh, Tabs would love a bird.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Maybe we won't get Terry. I also used to find it funny. It's not very funny, but when we used to get birds in at work and they would have, this isn't funny at all. I don't know why this is my terrible sense of humor, but you'd occasionally get parrots that had chlamydia. Because that's quite common with parrots. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, like, would Alex believe me if I was like, I got chlamydia? Yeah, we had a parrot at work. Like, seriously, honey.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was the parrot, I swear.
I was in the room with a parrot. It wasn't anything.
Oh God. Oh dear.
Burps.
Glass.
Their eyes are fascinating as well.
They are, yeah.
There's one little bird, I can't remember his name, but I keep seeing him on Instagram, and if ever he gets fascinated by something, his pupils are just like, whom. They just really like quickly like dilate, just like, whom. What is this?
Oh.
There's it's the one in the video when his mum pretends to eat him and he just goes, whoa, what happened? His eyes just get massive.
Oh
I imagine it must be quite tempting to teach them silly things to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just teaching them things like help, I've been trapped as a bird. Or something. So when you have people around, you leave the room and they're just like,
help me.
Let me out. I'm the postman. I'm turning into a bird. She's a witch. Oh. Burps.
Oh my gosh.
Good old burps.
I talked about a ton of stuff today.
Yeah.
And we managed to listen to a dream or two.
Yeah, I don't know if we got to the bottom of either. I think they're just very face value.
Yeah, I think so too.
About bunnies.
And wrestling.
Care about Becky. That's it. And I'd like to go and see my parents in the end.
And also birds.
I do love how, because I'm not someone who's ever done any drugs or anything, the only my knowledge of them is the sort of thing you know the classic things you see in films and stuff like that. So when my brain was like, he does drugs, it was like, yeah, he wraps up stuff in copper wire and puts stickers on it, like drugs. Drugs. It's such a child's understanding of is that a weed?
I'm calling the police.
He's doing the drugs.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Dear, dear.
Well, I think
we
should probably wrap up.
Yeah.
But thank you so much.
It was nice having a chat.
It was nice having a little chat.
Children's TV.
A friend of mine, actually. I mean, I was about to wrap up, but now I'm going to talk again. A friend of mine messaged yesterday and was like, I didn't know you and Briony had a podcast. I've just started listening, and it's like I'm driving along and you two are in the back of the car just talking shit. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
He said it's nice. It's very comforting. I was like, oh, good.
That's what it's meant to be. Even though I did literally start this one with, I just jumped straight into thalassophobia and anxiety.
True.
But, it ended slightly cozier, maybe.
Yeah. It was pretty cozy.
Well, thank you for a lovely chat once again.
Yes,
Kirsty.
thank you so much. And
I
thank
hope
you, everyone.
all of you at home are having lovely weeks and have lovely dreams as well.
Yeah.
About not anxiety.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Big, happy dream thoughts.
Yay! Until next time, bye-bye
Bye-bye for now.